So today we're going to take a look at adding fractions again, and you guys rocked at it. You did such a nice job. But today our fractions are going to look just a little bit different. The reason they're going to look different is because they are going to be mixed numbers instead of just a plain fraction. Now yesterday when Mr. Boss and I were talking about this lesson and how we were going to teach it, we both agreed that it would probably be in your best interest to literally pretend that big fat whole number isn't even there until the end of the problem. Okay? That big fat whole number. That's right. So how do we add a mixed number? That is our question today. So this gal, Rhoda, she mixes sand with 2 2/3 cup of potting mixture to make soil for her cactus. After she mixes them together, how many cups of soil will she have? So, first of all, before we solve our problem, what information do we need? We need the amount of soil and the amount of sand, okay? Now, what operation are we going to use when we put something together? Yeah, we're going to add it. Now, you notice right away that you have whole numbers in this problem, whole numbers that you haven't seen up until this point. So, we're going to take this problem and we are going to stack our problem up and down. Now, just like earlier this week, we noticed that our denominators are not the same. We have a 3 and a 2. So they actually did this problem for you. They brought over a common denominator of 6, Dathan, and they changed it so that it had equal fractions, and they slid those big fat whole numbers here and here over. Now can we add this up? Sure. Let's add our fraction first. Help me out. 7/6, and our whole number would be 3. Great. Now, that looks still a little bit funny, doesn't it? Because we have an improper fraction here. We need to change that improper fraction into a mixed number. We can either do it like this, or we can do it in our head. Dathan, can you do it in your head? Tell me what it would be.
4 and 1/6.
Okay, just wait though. We're only looking at 7/6. Change 7/6 for me. 1 and 1/6. You just got a little bit ahead of me. So we take that and we add it on to the 3, which gives us 4 and 1/6. It's really easy to add just a whole number on. 1 and 1/6 plus 3 equals 4 and 1/6. And that's it. That's what we do. Sweet. Sweet is right. Kind of. Okay, eyes and ears up here. First problem, again, they chose a common denominator. You don't even have to do that. They chose the 8. Help me out. What would I put as a numerator for that top fraction, Cole?
7.
Yeah, it doesn't change. It stays the same. How about the bottom number? 2. Okay, Natasha, help me add these up. Let's add our fractions first. 9/8, and then our whole numbers. 2. So we have 2 and 9/8, but we can't leave it like that. We need to change 9/8 into a mixed number. What is 9/8 as a mixed number? Alan?
1 and 1/8.
That's right. If we do all the work up here, we would get 1 and 1/8. So if I add it on to the 2 that I already have, my final answer, Brendan, would be 2 plus 1 is 3 and 1/8. Is that in simplest form? Yeah, it has a 1 in it. We're done. You may have to simplify today. That problem you didn't. Next problem. Again, they chose a common denominator for you. Today in your assignment, you'll have to choose your own. Is this a good one? Yeah, 30 works. Okay, so how many 5s go into 30? Emma? 5 times what gave us 30? How did I get?
6.
Times 6. I do the same thing to the top, so I noticed on somebody's assignment today that instead of putting a 12 here, they put just the 6. You can't do that unless there's a 1 over here. Let's go down below. How did we get from 6 to 30? Dathan? We do the same thing to the top. That doesn't mean we put a 5 over here. We have to multiply our other numerator times 5, which gives us, okay? Can someone add these two fractions for me? Will? 37 over 30, whole number? 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5. We have to add these two whole numbers. 7.
I thought you were talking about.
No. We have to take a look at this first. So we have 7 and 37 thirtieths. But this is improper, so we can't leave it like that. What do we do, Sam? If we have an improper fraction, we do what? We do divide it. We can do that up here, but can anybody do it in their head? Aaron? 1 and 7 thirtieths. Someone in the last class told me that they think how many 30s go into 37? That's 1, so they write the 1 down. Then they subtract the numerator minus the denominator to find the difference, and that's their numerator. That works, doesn't it? Okay, now is 1 and 7 thirtieths our final answer? Can I just circle it and be done?
Yeah.
No. I have to add it on to the 7 that's already there. Natasha? 8 and 7 thirtieths. Now, is that in simplest form or do we need to simplify? It is in simplest form. Our numerator, the 7, is a prime number. And as long as that 7 won't go into our denominator, we're done. Okay? Cole, do you have a question?
Yeah, what is that estimate?
We're not going to worry about that. Well, basically, estimating for reasonableness means 2 and 2/5 is about 2. 5 and 5/6 is about 6. So 2 plus 6, our answer should be somewhere around 8. So estimating is just, if you think about that before you do the problem, then you know about what your answer should be. Okay, 4 and 1/9 plus 1 and 1/3. Who can come up with a common denominator for both of those fractions? Emma? 9. Yeah. There are other numbers that would work, but 9 is definitely the best. So we can just recopy this one. What would our numerator be here, Alexis? How'd I get from 3 to 9?
3.
Times 3. I do the same thing to the top, which gives me, okay. Can anybody do the adding for me now? Sarah?
It would be 5 and 4/9.
Do I need to change that one?
No.
No, this isn't improper. Can I simplify it? No. I can't simplify it either. We're done. That was an easy one, wasn't it? One more like this and then we'll do some together. Okay, we have a 12 and we have an 8. I think I better fix that 5 because it looks kind of funky. What would be a good common denominator for 12 and 8? Will?
24.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let's make a denominator of 24 here and a denominator of 24 here. Who can help me make my equal fractions? Cole? The top one would become?
10.
Yep. Times 2 times 2.
15.
Yep, this would be 15 times 3 times 3. Okay, who can add that for me? Really quickly in their head. Kaylin. 25 over 24. What's our whole number going to be? 10. Okay, can I leave it like that? No, we need to do something with that one. Dathan? 1. Oop, I don't know if you can see that 1. and 1/24. Let's add that on to the 10 we already have. So our final answer is?
11 and 1/24.
Good work. All right, open up your iPads so we can do some practice problems together. First problem, 4 3/4 plus 2 2/5. What would be a good common denominator for this problem? Aiden?
20.
Good job. All right, everybody get started. Check your work with mine. Who can add this up for me? Cole? 23 over 20. Whole numbers too. Okay, can I leave it like that? No, I have to change my improper fraction into a mixed number, which would be... Alan, can you do that one in your head? Okay, can you change the mixed number in your head for me?
3 and
Mm-hmm.
7.
No. I want you to change 23/20ths into a mixed number. I don't want the final answer. We're moving step by step. You're doing all this in your head and you're just writing random things down, which is fine with me, but my question is, I want you to take 23 over 20 and change it into a mixed number. Can you do that for me? Say it again. No. Not 3/20ths. Dathan? 1 3/20ths. Okay? They need to see that. Now I can add that on to my 6, and Natasha says I'll get for a final answer 7 3/20ths. I respect the fact that you got that answer, Alan, and I know that you know how to do this, but I'm asking for specific steps, okay? Okay? All right, check your work. Did anybody get stumped along the way? After a few problems, I'm going to poll the class and ask you a specific question about these steps here. Let's go with 11 9/10 plus 3 1/20. What would be a good common denominator? Kaden? Sure. Or 30 or 40 or 50, but 20 is the lowest one, so that means we just leave this guy alone. Our top fraction becomes what, Kaden? Okay. Final answer? There we go. Is that simplified? Yeah, it is. It's simplified. Done. Good work. Okay, quick poll question. As you're going through problems like this, what is the hardest thing for you to do? Is it A, to find the common denominator? Is it B, to change an improper fraction into a mixed number? Or is it C, to simplify the answer? Okay, you get to vote. Or is it D, none of them? They're all easy. Okay, is it finding a common denominator? Is it changing the mixed number to an improper fraction to a mixed number? Okay. Is it simplifying? Okay, or is it none? All right. Okay.